Hey everyone, welcome to Motivation Works. In this video, we'll bring you an amazing list of 15 motivational quotes with their deep meanings. So make sure you stay with us until the end of the video if you want to gain the immense benefits from these quotes. By the way, before we move forward, make sure that you hit the subscribe button since we upload awesome content every day, and you don't want to miss out on that. And don't forget to like the next video and comment your thoughts below, like what kind of video we should do next. Number 15. Even if you fall on your face, you're still moving forward. Here's some reassurance that falling flat on your face is not the end of the world. It still represents forward progress, even though you won't get any style points. It's a reminder that you won't always have the proper footing and that you can recover from any mishap as long as you continue onward. Often it seems that to make progress in our lives, we have to be perfect and unerring. But the reality is that the fear of making a mistake can leave us frozen and not moving forward. It's better to lunge forward and risk falling down than not move at all. Number 14. The purpose of our lives is to be happy. The Dalai Lama has a way of saying things that make it very hard to argue with him. It can't be stated any plainer than this, and it's easy enough to see if you're currently living out your life's purpose or not. It also makes it clear which things serve your purpose and which take away from it. If you've been pondering your purpose lately, this is a quick way to get grounded again, and to take an inventory of what's working and what's not in your life. You may find another purpose for your life, but underneath it all is this deeper underlying purpose. Number 13. The dreamers are the saviors of the world. Those that dare to dream move the world forward. Everything that's ever been accomplished by mankind started off as a dream in someone's mind before it became a reality. That includes the city and country you live in, the house where you reside, and the car that you drive. It's all thanks to the dreamers out there, and you can be one of them, just as long as you make it a priority to dream and then carry out the visions of your dreams. The real saviors are those that dream and then follow through on their dreams with inspired action. Number 12. The price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it. This is true and gives new meaning to the phrase, time is money. The reason people have so much emotion wrapped up in money is the time it takes to attain it. When you buy something and exchange money for it, what you're really exchanging is the time it took you to earn the money. So your time is what really paid for everything you have in your life. Looking at money as your life energy will either make you feel better about it or worse, depending on how much you have and how hard you feel you've worked to obtain it. Number 11. Obsessed is just a word the lazy use to describe the dedicated. If you're dedicated to your work and forego other activities in order to see it through, you may be dubbed obsessed by those that don't have as much passion for what they're doing. You may be referred to as a mad scientist while you toil away, but when you have your vision locked into achieving your goals and dreams, everything else has a way of fading into the background. If you're truly interested in seeing yourself succeed, it's good to become obsessed with it, because the more you think about something, the more likely it is that it will come to you. Number 10. Someday is not a day of the week. We've all heard that someday never comes, but it's just too effortless to push things back to that very vague someday. It's a way of rationalizing that you might do something or might get something one day, just not today. But the reality is that it's probably not going to happen. You just can't bear the thought of it not happening. It's hard to monitor yourself for this type of thinking, but you'll want to do your best to eradicate it from your mind. If it's really important to you, set a deadline for it, or you probably won't ever end up getting it done. Number 9. There are no shortcuts to any place worth going. These days, it seems like everyone is trying to get there faster than everywhere else. But what's the rush? If it's something worthwhile, then it's worth doing right and enjoying the journey along the way. If you take a shortcut, you miss out on the full experience and you miss the point. Don't be afraid to put in the time it takes to get where you want to go. If you stop looking for a shortcut and spend that time going down the right path, you'll get there right when it's the perfect time for you. Number 8. Very often, a change of self is needed more than a change of scene. You take yourself with you wherever you go, so running off to a new place is no way to escape. You'll just end up replicating the same patterns that got you where you are in the first place. But if you work on changing habits that don't serve you and replacing them with ones that do, you'll notice that you no longer feel like you have to escape from the situation and can feel more comfortable in your surroundings. You can still use a change of scenery to help uproot you from your rut and make lasting changes. Number 7. If you can't outplay them, outwork them. There will be times in your life when you're outmatched. There will always be someone better out there. But that just means you have to find other ways to beat them. The one thing you have control of is your own work ethic. You can be sure to outwork them by giving it more than they will or are able to. This extra work translates to a better ability the next time you're matched up against them, shifting the odds of winning to your favor. So remember, all is not lost when you find yourself outplayed. You just have to remember to put in the extra work to pull off the victory. Number 6, the best way to predict the future is to invent it. This is a slight twist on the more familiar quote, which states that the best way is to create it. What would you expect from an inventor but to adjust it accordingly? It's true that the future does not yet exist, so it's possible to come up with a version of it that suits you best. Either way, you're going to invent your future, so put your best efforts into creating the future you want rather than the one you won't be happy with. Just be sure not to spend so much time pondering your future that you miss the present moment where life actually takes place. Number 5, champions keep playing until they get it right. Think of how many people quit playing before they become a champion. Perhaps they might have made it if they would have just kept playing, making adjustments, and getting better at their craft. If you want to experience more success, all you have to do is keep practicing, keep playing against better opponents, and keep learning all that you can. With enough perseverance, you'll find that you'll become a champion because you've spent time in the trenches, and now you know your game better than anyone else, and you are dubbed a champion. This is not just applicable to sports, but to several areas of personal development. Which areas of your life do you want to become a champion in? Number 4, change your thoughts and you change your world. It seems like it would be easy enough to change your world if all it takes is changing your thoughts. But thoughts aren't the easiest thing in the world to change. Many of the thoughts a person has each day are the result of habitual thinking the same thoughts again and again, day after day. It takes work to try and undo this sort of thinking and have new thoughts. But if you can manage to think more positive thoughts, your world will become more positive. The opposite is also true, which is why you should pay attention to the way your thoughts make you feel. Number 3, if you have everything under control, you're not moving fast enough. This is an interesting concept to grasp, since many of us long for feeling like we have everything under control. But if that's the case, then it means you're not getting as much done as you could. If you can reach a point where you feel comfortable with things being a little out of control, you'll be able to get more done and have a fuller experience. Leave it to a race car driver to come up with a quote about speed, but this is easily applicable to everyday life by taking a look at how many balls you're juggling and whether you feel challenged enough. Be able to give up some control in order to push your boundaries. Number 2, action is the foundational key to all success. Without action, nothing gets done. The key is not doing action for the sake of action, but taking inspired action that is in line with your bigger picture. Many people stay busy all day, but don't really get a lot accomplished. The difference between being busy and taking inspired action is great. You rarely feel flustered or overwhelmed when you are taking action based on a strong desire to reach your goals. But it's easy to feel frustrated and frantic when you are just completing actions in order to have something to do. Number 1, I will go anywhere as long as it is forward. Time moves in one direction, and your life should be moving in that same direction if you want to have the most satisfaction from it. Forward is the only way to go. It's the direction of life. If you're not moving forward, growing, expanding, taking on new challenges, you're moving backwards, shrinking, atrophying, and eventually dying. Don't send yourself into an early grave. Keep your eyes forward and your mind active so that you can keep moving in the direction of life, growth, and fun. It doesn't really matter which destination you end up in, as long as it represents forward progress in your life.